But I feel like I could have got stuck there as well, and it was easy. It was definitely easy. I didn't want to leave there and go to Equian and get the office job and do that kind of thing. And then I was stuck at Equian. I felt stuck at Equian.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm, kind of where I'm at. I don't even know if this office thing's what I'm all about either.
Yeah, see.
I mean, I'm not. I like getting to the end of the day and kind of just, pat my hands and be like, all right, lots of money. I sat in a chair, clicked my fingers. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, I kind of want to be entertained too. But I stay pretty busy right now, so I can't complain.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to be busy. I like a full schedule.
Right. I like the day to be like boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
My work's kind of boring right now because I can only work 2 days a week with school, so they kind of can't give me anything too big. So if they need me right in the moment kind of thing, they're like, hey, we'll give you something, but that's about, like, just barely anything. But I am usually busy. Like today, like when I have school, I basically wake up, do homework, go to my classes, go to the gym, do more homework, come here, go back home, do more homework, go to bed. Like, I had to go do some modeling homework that's really just beating me up right now. For some reason, I'm pretty sure our stream, I was on the OBS studio and it just cut off. So it's going to be 2 different, like, separate episodes, but that's okay, I guess. It just kept running, but I mean, like, it's been doing some weird shit while we've been sitting here, too. Like, it says an error occurred and there really hasn't been anything. It was going on my phone.
Yeah, whenever I checked it said that it was a test or something.
Oh, yeah, that's because I had it on I actually didn't change the thing. It's different now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It was up there. But for some reason, it just, like, I was looking at the OBS thing, and it just randomly gave an error. It said, OBS says, also plug in my charger out of my bag, plug in my computer. But we can go ahead and talk about Apollo 11 if you want.
You said out of my bag?
You checking the YouTube? Too long? What? Hey, you can hand me that. Plug that in the wall, that end, and I'll plug it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
But anyway, okay.
Well, I gotta unplug the fridge.
No, yeah. I was like, what?
So don't do that, please.
I definitely don't do that.
Honestly, it wouldn't even be that bad.
Yeah, it'd be whatever. You just plug it right back in.
There's shit in there.
But, shit. So, do you think that we land on the moon?
Sorry.
Let me rephrase that.
Me, personally, I don't. I don't trust anything that's told to me.
Okay, we're talking about the moon landing. I said that really quick. Yeah, do we think we landed on the moon the first time we said we did?
No.
Okay, give me
Do you
your...
think that we've ever landed on the moon?
Absolutely, but not as quick. I think we were in a moon race, and we said we went there really quick, and then went later.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's my hot take.
I don't think we've ever been to the moon.
It's not a hot take. I think we absolutely have.
Not at all? Not even now?
Not all.
Why not now?
So, after the Apollo 11 stuff, right?
Right.
Now they say that they don't have the technology to go to the moon. That's been destroyed.
Who?
I saw it on... It was like a video of like a...
Do you mean... I think you mean...
Scientist, where they were like, well, we don't have the technology anymore to go to
No, that's not to the moon. That's where... So they...
We put those in there?
Oh, yeah, put your headphones in here. Yeah. But that's... So... What was it? It was like the technology to replay the tapes back then. You can't, like, replay... They don't have technology to do that anymore.
Well,
like the recordings. They lost
the
tapes, too. Yeah. Because they were like, let's play it back. Like, oh, we lost it. Sorry, the original tapes aren't here anymore. It's all we have is, like,
But
the...
I thought there was a video of, like, a scientist, a NASA scientist, saying that they don't have the technology to go to the moon anymore.
Well, they definitely do now. Have you seen these rockets? I feel like they definitely... And we have people in orbit around the Earth. I think more so, we also don't go there because we claim we've been there. I think we can get there now if we wanted to. We may have never been to the moon. Like, I don't really know how many people... Well, China just apparently went to the dark side of the moon. Like, literally, they just went there, like, a month ago or something like that. They just a big thing. But, I think we've definitely been there now. But as far as, like, back then, like, I just don't... Like, so, basically, Kennedy just promises that we're going to go to the moon with, like, 7 years to go just because we're so far behind. Like, the Soviets had the first person in space and had the first satellite in orbit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, we were already way behind. So, he just said, you know what? This is the... From what I heard, he's like, this is the ending. If you get here, you win. He's like, first one to the moon.
This is the finish
Yeah, and like people in NASA were like, "What the hell?" Like a lot of them were like, "We don't even. Is this even? Are we sure this is even possible? Like, you're just gonna make this claim that we can get there by 1970?"
Right.
And they didn't even actually have the first Apollo till like 1967, and that whole crew died so a fire started in the cockpit, and there's literally audio footage where like you can hear them like basically. The guy says, "There's a fire in the cockpit, a small one. It's getting kind of bigger." And all of a sudden, because there's so much oxygen in there, because they had to have a lot of oxygen to breathe, it immediately just erupts, and you can hear him going, "It's bad, it's bad, it's got us, it's bad." Like this dude's like literally like dying. You hear him screaming, he's burning alive. It's insane. It was on this like Netflix like show too. I was like, what is going on? But anyway, and then they basically just did tests to like make sure we orbit Earth and orbit the moon, make sure we can get the lunar thing out of there. Yeah. So I don't get how like. There's the one thing that I like is like, so they said there was a 4-second delay in like from the waves from their like talking to get back from the moon. And like when you hear the recording at the very beginning, you can hear somebody say talk after like 4 seconds, like indicating, hey, it's been 4 seconds, the delay's done, talk now. And Neil immediately talks afterwards. But you could that could also be the guy turned it on, said talk immediately, and then 4 seconds later you hear him say talk. Like he said at the very beginning, and then Neil said something afterwards. But they both were actually delayed. But he had said it immediately, and then Neil said something after him immediately. And then, see what I'm saying? It wasn't like they were just sitting there waiting for 4 seconds with a stopwatch, which is what they're claiming with their experience.
Like they get it quick, but they can't hear it. I don't understand.
Okay, so people that believe in the conspiracy theory think that NASA claimed that when you send radio waves from the moon, it takes 4 seconds to get back.
Like, what are you saying?
I'm going to explain that so I can get both sides. So like,
I understand that.
okay, yeah. So they were saying like you record with a stopwatch and it would be like 4 seconds of a delay before you can hear it. Okay,
Yeah.
So people are saying like, I'm saying like they could have the reason for that like delay when he said talk could be him just alerting Neil Armstrong, hey,
there wasn't a delay, or there was.
There was. NASA claims there was delay, which it makes sense. You're far away.
Did we ever hear this?
Yes, yeah.
So did we hear the delay?
See, you don't know because you can't really tell if it's delay or if it's just he's just not talking. That's the point.
Oh, okay. That's what
yeah.
Like him hearing it, being like, okay.
Like yeah, they're like somewhere on Earth, just like waiting, just to
like people on the news when they're like, "How's it going, Jim?" And they're like,
"Yes, literally." Literally.
Yes. No, but I mean, if you think about it, if you record one side of that conversation, then that would make sense. But if you're recording both, then it doesn't.
It would too, like if it was a predetermined like script, like somebody had already recorded it and he had to just respond.
What do you mean?
So if he said test and it took 4 seconds for us to hear test.
Well, he just said talk. Like he's just saying,
talk.
Like they're claiming that he's alerting Neil Armstrong, hey, it's been 4 seconds, it's been a delay, you're good to talk now.
Right, but if he's saying like talk, was this like they were talking before that though?
No, there was nothing.
So this was the beginning.
This is them basically at the beginning saying, hey, we're turning on.
Hear this?
Yeah, like yeah, you can like hear this in audio, yeah.
But if they're starting out the conversation right, and they're saying talk, then it would take 4 seconds to get to him. So if they just record what he's hearing,
that is true. Shit.
You know what I mean?
Holy!
So
oh my god!
They already have what he's gonna say pre.
Right.
I'm picturing us sitting here talking and hearing praise, like the people just like open the door, like get on your knees.
Like it's pre-recorded, so he just has to respond.
I mean, probably they're not recording it that way. It doesn't make sense to record it from the moon. You know what I mean? So that
it still doesn't even make sense for someone to say talk though, and Neil immediately responds.
Right.
Because if you say talk, then Neil will reply for it, just like he's talking about on the news. Yeah. He would take a second and be like, "Oh, Jamie, it's Neil from the moon." That'd be so funny.
The flag thing is what got me.
Okay, the flag thing's weird because the way the flag's made is they have a stand that's almost like a upside down L. Like it's fixed where like it's kind of fixed to be sitting stiff. Yeah. And they were talking about like when you twist it, it can cause it being wrinkly. And it also the way it was made, it was kind of faulty where the flag would move a little bit and it would wrinkle up on the pole. Okay. I don't know about that though.
They're not around the flag, and the flag just moves.
Yeah.
It's a little
well, the thing that makes no sense is the people that are like, okay, they're twisting these poles in the ground, but still, eventually, it's gonna stop moving. Like the gravity from the moon will just pull it down and make it just sit still.
Unless it's on Warner Brothers' lot.
Unless it's in the back of unless it's on the beach and they're just putting up a background.
But if you think about it, if they did that, they would realize that. You know what I mean? They would think about that. They're not retarded. I mean, they're scientists.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that, like, I'm not saying that I don't think it is definitely impossible that we could have faked that, and I definitely wouldn't blame anybody for faking it, honestly. Like, I mean, I wouldn't blame anybody at the time, because a lot of these, what's crazy too is a lot of these things that happen, you don't even notice that these things happen until like 20 or 30 years later. You're like, oh, they really might have faked that? What the hell? Just right under our nose. Like, we just thought, oh my God. Like, and my mom was talking about, like, I was talking to her about this. She was like, well, you got to have all these people in on it. I was like, I mean, not really. You can just tell the people in NASA, hey, we're flying this to the moon, and then only 3 of you know, and the astronauts that you're flying off to, like, Brazil somewhere off on the coast, and you're just like, you know, oh, we're at the moon now.
See, I think that's part of the excitement. Like, if you aren't going to tell somebody something, like, okay, we're talking about conspiracies, the whole 9/11 thing, not a lot of people had to know about that either. The whole point is that if everybody's surprised.
Literally, like, it would have only been the people in the war room that would have known about that. Maybe even less than that.
Okay, also, the jet fuel can't melt steel beams argument. Jet fuel can't, but also...
It can expand it.
It can expand too, but yeah, it makes its properties change out where it makes it where it'll just fall apart. Yeah, but the thing with me is, like, I'm not saying it's definitely, like...
The way it fell is...
Yeah, the way it's weird. I don't think that much weight would make the whole thing fall straight down. I feel like some of it would still be up.
So, listen, the building is built. I'm not even joking. So, listen, because they talk about it.
And I'm just going to go ahead and put it out right now. I don't fully believe a lot of these things. I just like to speculate, and it's fun to, like, be like, maybe, you know?
But the 9/11 thing is awful strange to me.
Yeah, I mean, if it is true that it's set up that way and the government did do it, then it's really fucked up.
When you think of how much we profited off of all that shit from taking after that war, too.
Wow.
But still, I'm talking about more so, like, the building itself.
Right.
How many floors was it?
Like, it was like 200 and something.
Okay, so...
Or 200, I think.
The bottom 75 or 80% of the building is only built to support the 20% on top. So if a building like that does ever get destroyed, it'd be more like one of these, like crash, break, fall. Crash, burn, break, fall. It wouldn't be crash, collapse. And that's what, like, a lot of videos, it falls almost so straight.
Yeah, the straight down thing is really weird.
That makes...
I feel like if part of it would collapse, the whole all four supports around all corners wouldn't just go right in. It'd be like one corner would buckle in, and like two of it would buckle in.
It collapsed perfectly.
Straight down, right into ashes.
How quickly it did.
Yeah, it just went poof, 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 poof,
It
poof.
didn't really hit any other buildings. Like they say, it got close, but it didn't hit them. But then all of a sudden, like what building, the other building they say got hit.
Well, I think the fire just spread.
No, like another building apparently got hit, right?
Well,
Pentagon.
Yeah, and it lost
Yeah, like they basically crashed right into all the secret files saying like where all this money had gone that they had hidden that they I don't know where this money went.
Right.
So we have no clue where they spent that money. Like that's
but
just
also, like with the Pentagon thing. I mean, there was footage of a plane going into the building, wasn't there?
There's it's like you can't really see the plane. You just see an explosion at the Pentagon.
Like a delay on it, right?
Yeah, it's like the frame rate. It's going so fast. You gotta think a plane's going 500 miles an hour, right? Well, maybe 1,000 if he's going Mach. Maybe he's going as fast as possible. Not 1,000, but
Yeah, because a big ass plane cruises at like 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, think how fast you're going. Well, this is also off topic, but think of how fast you're going just sitting here, honestly. Like on Earth, because you're going spinning around, flying around. You're just like Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about if the Earth just stopped, it'd be terrible because you would just slam right in the wall and it'd be over. Like you would literally, you're going so fast you would stop.
Yeah, it said that we're moving at like 1,000 miles per minute or something like that.
I think it's more than that. I think we're like rotating like a lot. I mean, I don't know. Look at rotation of the Earth.
Fucking wall and
I wish the Earth would never stop that quickly. It would be gradual.
See, but do you like that on that One Strange Rock documentary? They talk about how it pretty much the moon itself, like the collision that created the moon, sent us spinning, and then the moon itself also creating the tides slowed us back.
That's pretty good, Jared. For real, 1,000 miles an hour.
I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty good. It rotates 1,000 miles an hour. That's pretty good.
Yeah. No, because I watched a video on it and I was like, because they were talking about gravity and everything. And it was like the Earth spins very fast, very, very fast. And it said like, oh, just over 1,000. It was like just over 1,000 miles a minute.
I don't get how our bodies just adjust.
I mean, that's insane.
Like we're just
Per minute, we're moving 1,000 miles.
It's also crazy. You'll never occupy the same space in the universe more than once. Have fun with that. Have fun with that useless info.
Or just don't move, and we'll rotate all the way around.
No.
I mean, there's just so many things that are just so like perfect. You know what I mean?
You should watch
the sun heats us up just enough so that we don't burn out and that we don't get
liquid water. Yep.
That's literally the whole show is about like the weird things that happen that
and
make
the moon,
like the habitable zone.
The waves and the tide.
The moon controls the tide, and that slowed us back down. We were spinning way faster than we are now, and that what created the moon itself is what made us spin that fast.
Right. The asteroid or whatever it was, meteor crashed into us,
I mean,
busting a piece of it off.
That we've been told before humans is theoretical. We don't know.
It goes into a lot of shit.
It's guessing.
Like the Amazon, it talks about how the Amazon people like claim it like the lungs of the earth or whatever, but no oxygen leaves the Amazon.
Right.
What?
No oxygen leaves.
Oh yeah, most of it's absorbed by like all the
the trees and the animals.
Yeah, yeah, because the air couldn't travel that far. I mean, that's kind of
true.
Well, no, it could if it would escape.
Yeah, but people using it are just, you know.
Well, yeah, but it'd be nicer. That's the thing. Like it would produce it, but like none of it leaves. Like not an ounce of it.
Okay.
Like they talk about this really strange balance right now of how like it's just they have what they've got, what they need.
Basically, there's so much shit there, just fucking used it all.
But they're also reproducing it, and things are getting like destroyed. And, like
yeah, you still had to maintain it though for the people, the wildlife there. Like that's a big part of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you like mess up ecosystems and stuff like that, you're just gonna cause a chain reaction.
Listen to this. They talk about how 80 or maybe 70% of the life that that comes off of the sun is fucking like green and blue.
Really?
So that's why the plants, when they like consume it, they consume like the rest of the light and bounce back off the green.
That's why their color's green.
Yes.
Oh yeah, or they absorb everything but green, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the sky kind of thing. The sky lets the blue off and then goes into the sky. Like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It's weird. I don't get how. I've always wondered how they make color.
Like pigments and stuff?
Yeah. Well, that might sound stupid, but like, how do I make that like cup red? Like I get you color red, but like, how do you make the coloring red?
Well,
what?
They have to take things that are that color out of the environment.
That's what I'm saying. How do they do that?
They take it. They produce it.
Well, how do they take it though?
Well, they make it. They take it, grow it, crush it.
Most of it's like kind of based on like these roots and shit.
Oh shit.
Like it's not from like clay and stuff.
That makes sense. Okay, like I get something wet or something like that, and then putting it on there. Okay, like dye, like tie dye.
Well, I mean, if you think like yellow petals of a flower, and if you got 1 million of those, and you crush them up, dry them or whatever, and then put them in like a solution.
Yeah.
Silly. No.
Deja.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna make dandelion shirts later. There's none of those because it's cold as fuck.
Oh yeah, the stupid tweet I had earlier. It wasn't. It was so dumb,
Mm-hmm.
dude. It was so dumb.
Can you say it?
Yeah. Dude, I was replying to.
That's what it is. That's how I was going to text you that. The GM was like, my drafts are all replies of me either getting real pissed or saying something real stupid. And I was like, nope.
I really don't get on that Twitter that much, honestly. I just check like celebrity stuff.
Right.
I get on for sports for the most part, but every now and then, dude.
Unless I'm really mad.
I do that too.
If I'm really mad, I want to tweet. You know what I mean? Cause it's just
yeah, if you're in that mood to just be like, dude.
Yeah, it's just
I got
a
a rant.
platform that's like, you just say whatever you want.
Yeah, who cares? Just
There's
like
no
whatever.
repercussions.
Yeah. Your job's gonna say okay. Sure they are. I'm sure they are. All these 50-year-olds are gonna. Who knows? Maybe they will. But you know what? I'm funny, so you can laugh or you know what? Fire me, man. If you don't laugh, then you know what? I'll see you anyway. I don't want to be a part of your. I don't want to be a part of your company anyway. You're not even funny. But anyway, this tweet. So I was replying to like Zersh like posted a picture on Instagram, and his place he was at was Snowshoe Resort or something, some place where you ski. And I replied and said, I was trying to spell horseshoe. And I spelled it correctly, like HORSESHOE. And I was like, am I spelling shoe right? Because I was like, there's no way. I was like, who made this shoe? I was like, how? Because this doesn't make any sense. Let me find the actual tweet too. No, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be dead. But it was like, why is show not pronounced like, why is shoe not pronounced like show?
Yeah.
And then why is show not pronounced like it is in shower? But if you said shower, it is.
It's kind of like dish, like FISHPH.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But I was like, well, SHOE for shoe. Just
SHOO
SHOO would make more sense.
As well.
Like that Vine where it's like, why is this one Kansas and this one's not Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But seriously, we have a lot of words that mean like two things.
Yeah, it's really, and I bet people that aren't native to the English language are just like, what are you all doing over here?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Yutang at work always says that, like, sometimes he says mom noticed this, but like sometimes like if he just kind of like, he's from China. In case anybody doesn't know this, he's like, he was in China until he's like 26 and he's like 29, 30 now. But he said that when people are speaking like in like a meeting per se, and he's not used to everyone's dialect, if they're speaking in English, it's not his like main language. So at first he gets like really confused, and he's just like can't follow fully. So if he gets caught, he's like, damn, I can't remember what he said there. I can't understand. And he just kind of like gets like, that's gotta be crazy whenever like you're just kind of, and it's gotta be, I only know one language really. Like I've kind of learned Spanish a little bit, like in high school. That's really it. So I really don't know it at all now. But I couldn't imagine like not knowing a language and just all of a sudden, because when you hear it and you're like, what are they saying? Then you just go to knowing, and then you're just like,
yeah, I don't know. I never even got into Spanish when I had to take it.
No, I didn't either, because I took it freshman year, failed it, and never took it again.
I took
I quit.
Did you take any other language?
No.
We had to take
Spanish too. I
was supposed to, but they changed the curriculum like my sophomore year and said that you didn't have to take language if you don't want to. Or they like had like a different course you could take.
Yeah, like I got fucked.
Right.
Spanish. I hated it. Hated Spanish.
Who'd you have?
I had Senor Torres. I think my first year, and then I had Miss Hoagland the next year. Miss Hoagland.
Miss Hoagland was a nice lady.
She was.
I loved Miss Hoagland. She was very nice. I used to see her at Kroger when I worked there. I'd be so happy. Like, she called me Emilio every time because it was my Spanish name in class. I was like, dude, my name is not Emilio. Emilio. I named it that from Emilio Estevez, and I only named it that because of Night at the Roxbury.
Because you got to choose your Spanish name.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Because I used to think it was hilarious when Will Ferrell would be like, Emilio, in the movie like 1,000 times. Like outside the club, just. Some of the stupid logic.
Oh, God. Those were good times to fall.
Seriously, I know. Dude, it sucks when you're done and you're like, damn.
I know, like, I was sitting back and like,
Yeah.
about some of that stupid ass shit. That was fun.
And during the time, you're like, this sucks. Homework. And it's like, that's not even anything, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, just bring it back.
And it's like a 10-minute worksheet. You're like, damn. I got to do this whole thing. It's like Algebra 2, and you're like, oh.
Okay, that was terrible. That was terrible.
Or English. People would complain about like a 4-page paper like now. I'm like, dude, it takes you like a minute. Just go look up some sources, just cite them shits, and just write about it.
I hate English.
I like writing about stuff I enjoy. Like I like.
I almost have to shorten it. So what's garbage?
I hate when I open one though. I don't like reading articles, but I'll make one. Like I hate when I open one and I'm like, all right, let's see what this is about, and it's like 1,000,000 fucking pages. I'm like, I ain't got time for all this. Can you please just summarize, dude?
Yeah,
like
I could read. I mean, people aren't going to read that though, unless they're really invested in that topic.
it's like is Davis getting traded to the Pelicans, and they could have just put no.
Yeah.
You know, and it would have been like, I appreciate it. Like, you know,
Or a good like 2 paragraphs. That's
yeah, like just like, hey man, he did this, and they basically just kind of, you know, say whatever.
End of day. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, to the Pelicans? That's hilarious. Will he? And the answer was no. He's not getting traded there. Because he plays there. Yeah.
No, that, like, for real, I think we went to Jack's archery tournament, like, last week or something like that. I walked in that place. It was in the career center or whatever.
Right.
Those were the classes that kind of annoyed the shit out of me because I felt like I had to do it just to get the fuck out. But
Right.
that was fun. I kind of wish I would have paid more attention. Quit being a fuck.
It's also crazy. I think it's weird to like. So I don't know if anybody agrees with this. So in high school, when you learn about like American and world history, I feel like it's a lot different learning about it when you're like outside of high school. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait, that really actually happened?
Right.
Because it's like in high school, you're like, man, I gotta take a test on this. I gotta memorize what happened. It's not like, damn, what? Because like
you don't realize the actual like.
Yeah, or you see stuff happening just like 600 miles or like 600 miles over from here, and there's like crazy shit going on, and we're just over here like turning the blind eye, which is nothing we can do. Like nothing we can do. Wait, what are we gonna do? Am I gonna somehow get over there? I'm just gonna stay. Well, I mean we, like as in like us three right here. Yeah, like, well, we can't band together and help them over in like Syria. Okay, I mean, we could help them. Yeah. We could maybe try.
I mean, we could fly over there.
We could, but we wouldn't really give that good of an effort, though. I mean, we would give the good effort, but
tweet about it.
We tweet about it and give a good effort.
We'd be like that guy that went and
we can bring viewers to it.
Yeah, we'd say, hey guys, live from Syria. That's it. Like, I mean, seriously, just like I go.
By the way, there's Joey shot.
Yeah, like if you could have seen my face.
That's way more than 600 miles.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like
it's
no. Yeah, I was more so speaking like the other way, but still, it's way more 600 miles.
What, like 3,000 miles?
Yeah, it's crazy how far we are from like Europe.
Yeah.
Texas is not 3,000 miles.
It's far. It's like
Texas isn't 3,000. It's probably 1,200. Nope.
Like you think so?
No, I'd say probably 800 or 900.
No, it's probably 1,500.
900. Everybody hear that? 900.
Well, okay. How far is Dallas?
Well, if I knew that, I would know how far away Texas is, Jared.
You were way wrong. 999 miles.
Banger, 900.
You were way wrong.
Well, because I remember driving to Florida.
3,000 miles. That is so funny. It's so funny. It's like me earlier. I was like, dude, the Earth goes like 36,000 miles an hour. I was like, dude, for real.
Florida's 780. Shit, I could drive to Texas.
Yeah, Texas wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Fuck.
But thinking how long it is, like I think of like.
Because Colorado's like 1,000.
Okay.
Think of back in the day, leaving like Great Britain and being like, "Fuck it, we're going that way. We're not looking back." And you're just like, "We'll see what happens."
Imagine whenever you'd have to walk everywhere and carry all your stuff.
Or that, but imagine getting stranded at sea, dude, and then your ship breaks down or you crash. Like you're gambling for one time only, getting through this voyage. But still the same, yeah.
I mean, it could be kind of fun.
Do you guys wish it was still like that? Do you guys wish we were still
like
primitive?
No.
I would like it if we could do it like.
For a little bit?
For like a month.
That'd be dope.
Just to see how.
Well, see, but then you catch cholera.
Like another simulation where it was like, I'm talking about like, where we're still in cabins, like, and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, like we have to do everything ourselves. Like,
do we still have modern medicine?
Like, there's no light, there's no electricity, there's no Wi-Fi.
But do we
send letters?
Do we still have modern
simulation though? Because like that's what I'm saying. Like, how would I turn this into a cabin?
Well, I mean, that's basically. Imagine if life was just like I was telling was that you? I said that before we started this. I was like, basically, oh yeah, I was like, if you're like a tiger in the desert, and if you're like playing, if life's a simulation, and you're like, I just want to choose, just give me the hardest difficulty this game has. And they're just like, okay, doop, and they're just like putting you in Antarctica as a polar bear. You're like, fuck, like you just.
You have to like scrape through the ice for 12 hours.
Yeah, just trying to find some seal or fish or something.
No, but more I'm saying, like, will we have the advantages of the things we have now, or would it be a simulation where we start over in our own houses and guns and bullshit?
No, it's full on what it was like then.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah. We would need another simulation.
No, I don't wish it was like that right now.
No, I mean, do you wish we could do that for a month?
I would like to.
Okay, so
I'd like to experience that.
See, but here's what I'm saying. Right now, we have to go out 8 hours a day and make our living doing all this weird shit.
Right.
What if we just spend our time just fucking living?
Well, if I die there, do I die here? Is it a simulation or is it my real life?
Back to forever again. So, not forever, but I'm just saying, like, would you wish that was like the time you kind of were in? Do you wish you grew up in the primitive days? Do you wish you were a person back then?
See, no, because right now I can live and be mostly healthy. I can live a long life and not really hopefully die of agonizing pain. Seriously,
let's
like.
group in
So
the
you
fact that
enjoy
you-
the privilege.
Let's group in the fact, like, say that if you did choose primitive, you wouldn't have knowledge of what is here. Because, like, you're more so taking the simpler or the more difficult. Because, like, honestly, I think a lot of the strain is that we, like, compartmentalize everything. So, like, now we have sports and you watch TV and you do all this shit when at the end of the day we weren't really meant to stare at a box that produces light and sit in here and have all this shit given off of whatever the fuck.
Well, that's kind of my argument of where people are like I kind of say people aren't entitled to anything. Like, if you don't live in a house with AC or like heat, I mean, that's. I'm just saying, like, that's not promised. Like, I mean, people work for that and get the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you're not guaranteed that. Like, I mean, like, the people throughout history have made it possible for people to be able to do that. And then people have to do their own hard work and money and work for, like, getting that to go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Rather it be simple, and you get by doing that kind of thing. So rather than you spend your 8-hour day doing this mechanical engineering bullshit, you go outside, you chop wood, you get fucking food. I'm talking about that kind of shit.
If I could do that and.
You like have like real. I'm talking about like I feel like there were like I mean, surprise bad shit happened. Not gonna lie about it, but I'm saying like have some real like you were always spending time with people. If you had fun, you were playing games and shit. And, like it was a different kind of
like actual human
wholesome. I guess is like the way you put it.
For me, I'd say I'd like to do that if I could be fully medicated, where I wouldn't die from some kind of plague and just sit there and suffer forever and go, Jimmy, don't get this, and then just die, and then he's just on his
That's
own.
a real possibility, though, because that's why most people died back then, is from disease.
Dude, seriously, I sometimes get worried that one day we will, like, the American dollar will go to, like, almost zero. Then it doesn't matter if you're Floyd Mayweather. Who cares about your money? It means nothing, dude. It's backed up by zero. It's a piece of paper. You're selling trees. Dead trees, sliced up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that scares me. Like, and then we'd all be like, well, we're on our own.
I mean, that's happening in current countries right now.
Oh, I know.
Today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People like, yeah, over here
is
it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, other places it's like, well, there's people that have like their countries have just went to shit, and then people are just taking it over, just saying, hey, I want to do all this shit. Like, you all got to do whatever I want. Yeah. And it happens easily. Not easily, but like, it can happen like easily in the blink of an eye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody can just be like, I'm going to change this up. Appreciate it. Yep, and then, you know,
I mean,
life
if you
sucks.
think about it, so like they say that like there's an expiration date on countries, right?
Oh yeah, you mean like how like
Like,
yeah,
China,
USA won't be here forever. It always like Soviet
Like
Union's
China,
now.
Every 300 years there would be a new ruler or a new dynasty or whatever.
Right, yeah, somebody takes
And,
over.
like, the U.S. is up for it, basically. And, I mean, it would be chaos if a country just decided, like, hey, let's take on the U.S. and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
This kind of reminds me.
our life would change
Can we thank
in an instant.
Japan for the world not being taken over?
Why would we think Japan?
Pearl Harbor. Not thank them literally, but if they would not have done that,
Right.
does Hitler take over everywhere?
So there's no Pearl Harbor.
No. So if there wasn't a Pearl Harbor, yeah, if there wasn't, yes. If there wasn't a Pearl Harbor,
Pearl Harbor never happened.
yes, if they never had gotten the U.S. involved, would they have eventually gotten strong enough, and would it have been too late?
No, because the U.S. would have gotten involved eventually.
Okay, if the U.S. had waited,
It's only a matter of time.
Okay.
As soon as they would have even got close to Britain.
well, the speculation on that also is that a lot of people think that FDR knew about the Pearl Harbor attack like a couple days before,
Right.
because
they
people
had warning.
in the Navy, they'd given a warning like they had gotten like
But
they.
also, like, those threats happen every day.
But also, like, I feel like they were saying that, like, they think that at the time we had to get involved, and there was no way to get involved at the time without being like, hey, we're sticking our head in here. That's kind of the things that, like, a lot of people think happens with governments when they have planned events.
Yeah,
that way.
I remember they were talking about how, like, they decoded their, like,
Yeah.
Morse code or whatever.
Yeah, and they were like, hey, they were talking about.
They knew that, I've heard that.
They were putting tracking up to where they were only reason why they do this is if they're bombing us. And they also, FDR ordered that, like, our biggest, like, aircraft carrier be moved 1,000 miles away from Pearl Harbor. Our biggest defense system.
Right.
Like, the biggest defense system in the entire.
Because all the ships weren't there.
Yeah, he left, yeah. So they just came and bombed and killed 2,400
They
American
were
people.
doing, like, training exercises.
Yeah, and they were saying it had to be big enough for it to be like we had to retaliate and join this war.
Right.
And then we ended up nuking them, and then we ended up
Twice.
Have you heard about like Japanese Americans like going and fighting in World War II? Like, have you ever heard about that? Where they would like
Were they with the internment camps and all that?
no, well that too. But there's like some of the soldiers that were in the army, and they also weren't. It was frowned upon at the time to be in the military if you weren't like if you were Asian American due to or Japanese American due to Japan, obviously. But they would like when the Nazis were kind of retreating at the time when they were getting in these caves, they couldn't get to the Nazis because it was in a cave, so they had to ambush sort of and be quiet. And these Japanese soldiers would scale these mountains, and like if you fell, you couldn't make any noise, because if you did, you would let Nazis know that everybody else was coming. Right. So if you're like scaling this mountain, you're up 1,000 feet, fall off to your death. You just gotta sit there, and you're just you know how intense that is. That is crazy. You're just falling to your death. I mean, if you're 1,000 feet down, they may not. Then you don't know if that's but you don't know if that's somebody falling or wildlife or this was like I don't know near some cave. I heard that on a TED talk from the guy of Star Trek. The you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember his name.
No, I don't know.
You ever seen Star Trek?
No.
The guy that goes, hello.
Oh no.
You know what I'm talking about?
From old Star Trek or new Star Trek?
Old Star Trek. Old Star Trek. Yeah, old Star Trek. Yeah, never mind that. But yeah, he's like 50 or 60, and he like grew up. Yeah, he grew up like around like internment camps and stuff like that.
I know that like they. Well, no, that was. Well, yeah, and like Indonesia and all that.
What do you mean?
Is that what you're talking about? Because that's where all the Japanese soldiers were. That's where we were fighting, like Guam and all that.
Then probably yeah. Because the Japanese had retreated. Yeah, they had to get.
They burrowed under because there wasn't enough land, obviously.
Right.
So they burrowed under and they were hiding. But that was the Japanese versus the Americans.
Well, we had the Americans were Americans, but they were Japanese Americans. They were just like people that came over from Japan. But you had to watch the TED Talk. I can't remember. It was some fleet of troops that went on some mission to go and like they were like kind of cornering the Nazis. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it would have been crazy if they would have gotten too big enough and they would have been like, well, shit, we're in a little bit.
Well, I mean, honestly, there is a show. It's on like Amazon.
Is it the one? Yeah, the one where they act like it did happen.
If it were to happen, yeah.
We watched that one in my classes. It was pretty intense.
It's like something I forget what it's called. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about, though.
But it's intense. It's kind of, I mean, if you think about it, like, if that were to happen, I mean, I probably wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Right, yeah, we really wouldn't. We would be, or we'd be really different, one of the two. Yeah. I mean, something's coming. Something's going to happen.
One of the weird thing, I'm bringing this up before we get our last topic in, of our choice, before we wrap this up. But, so, like, another thing about the Apollo thing, Russia never told us really during the space race about anything they were doing. They had tons of failures that we didn't know until 20 years later. Basically, the Soviet Union crashed, like fell under, and then other people took over, and invaded their like documents, and then figured it out. But they had like plenty of explosions where shit happened. They're like two Italian guys. They're really smart. Claimed to have had technology where they could like hijack into like their radio waves going from Russia's like government officials to the like astronauts in space, and these astronauts would like come through, and they would like be like one was a girl, and she like saying something like there was a fire in the cockpit, and she didn't know what to do, and she was like, "Am I gonna make it back?" And then it clicked off, and they were like, "What just happened?" And they were talking about like there's possibilities that the Russians just
these people in space.
Yeah.
They're just losing communication.
Yeah, they just cut it off because they didn't know where they were. They like lost them. Like as in they didn't lose them, but they were like, "Hey, we can't let anybody know that they were real." Like they had pictures that they had originally released that
they were real.
Yeah, they were real. I'm just saying.
You couldn't let them know they were real.
What do you mean?
You said you couldn't let them know they were real.
I'm saying like so back then.
Trying to, like, cover it up like it never happened.
So Russia, what they would do is
like a fire.
Yeah,
oh,
no, like no. Russia would be the only country, or the people that were doing the experiment would be the only one that would know about these people doing these experiments. So they wouldn't even tell any. It wasn't in the public eye really about anything. Like it was just kind of set aside. They would publish pictures, and there'd be somebody missing, and then 20 years later they find the original picture, and there's someone in there. They just wanted them not in there, so no one would know that. Like if you mess something up that would make Russia look bad, we'll just erase you, so no one would know. And they would do that to a lot of people. Like they were saying, like they possibly could have like had. This is a possibility too. This isn't for sure, I don't think. But they were talking about like, and this is crazy to think about, sending people in space and losing them, and then they're just lost in space forever. They're just drifting.
Oh, they're dead.
They're dead now. They're dead now. Yeah, they're dead now. But imagine drifting, and you're like,
what if they're not though?
What if they're not though?
I mean, if you think about it, like the whole like, what's that one movie?
Oh, Interstellar. Okay.
No. Yeah, and he like grows all the potatoes or whatever. But like, I mean, that's a possibility.
Okay.
See, but like, could you imagine? Because you can live like, what is it, 30 days?
Without food? Yeah.
It's like 21 days. Yeah.
Yeah, like just fucking.
Yeah, you'd be like,
fire
what?
space
Well, I mean,
for
if you didn't
days.
have water, though, it'd be just a couple of days, though. You'd be dead.
Well, yeah. But also, like, if they're...
Do you think they'd have water? In that
If
kind
they
of
run
situation?
out of power...
Maybe, if they gave them any.
So, like, space is super cold, right? So if they
Well,
run out
they
of
gotta heat
power...
something in their box.
Yeah, and then they'd oxygen, they'd suffocate.
they
There's a
gotta
lot
have
of...
heat in that thing to heat it
Or
up.
you're going to hyperventilate,
Once
because...
they run out of power, they're done.
Imagine knowing at your last moments, you're like, dude, I'm stuck in this ship. I'm going nowhere. This is it. This is the last few minutes.
You just, like, press the button.
Dude, do you even... What do you do? I'd freak out. Oh, my God. Dude, it'd be insane.
I don't know what the fuck I would do, but I would do some outlandish shit. I'd probably just start screaming everything that I fucked up.
Last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna close on this. Imagine say 2,000 years ago, some like civilization that was humans before was really smart, just like the Egyptians, and say they found a way to travel really far, really fast. Okay, but it's just like in real law, where like if you travel somewhere 400 light years away, 400 years have gone by here. What if they went somewhere like 1,500 light years away, and they come back again, and it's like 3,000 years in the future? They just show up here. They're like, yeah, we left here like 3,000 years ago. We're back now. Imagine that.
I mean, it's possible.
I know it's not, obviously it's really far fetched, but imagine that, like we just like somebody just comes back and goes,
How far-fetched is it?
I know, like it's how do we know no one's never done this before? Like at least
with
in
the whole Dark Age and everything, where they destroyed all of the literature and everything.
exactly, like yeah,
It could have been lost or buried, and we haven't found it yet.
right. Hopefully some dog finds it.
Egypt is, a desert, and
Right.
stuff gets covered up pretty quickly.
Any last topics, boys? We've been on here for like an hour and 10 minutes.
I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Let's go for another hour.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Daddy's got to go to bed.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I got. See, now I'm going to go and lay in bed and research all this stupid shit.
No, we're gonna close this off, and we're gonna hear her kick through the door and say, "Ray, SWAT team, FBI!"
Bro, everyone's gonna be like, "You found it out."
They're probably digging a hole into the ground, so that way nobody outside can see us. They're just gonna dig up from under us.
I mean, we are like literally live streaming on the internet. Right?
Yeah, I know.
So.
But anyway, that's all I got.
Is what
Y'all
it
good?
is, boys. See you next Monday.
Yeah, everybody have a good one. See you next Monday at 8 o'clock. Bye.
Bye.
That's the scoop.